Hello everybody. Today I just want to talk about health, and I want to say that sickness and disease don't exist, and I'll keep saying it because they don't. It's just a healing response of the body and an adaptation, a clever adaptation to the situation you're putting it in. And it's also a signal that you're not doing something right in your life if you have a severe illness. Lots of reasons people are getting ill, but it all comes down to the one reason of a trauma or a conflict inflicted in the first place. And people ignore it, they suppress it with drugs. It's like a cold, for example. It's just a simple clear out of waste from the year, and you let it be. Let it be. Or it's coming out, and that's good because it's clearing out the waste that's from the year, or the waste from the thoughts, the waste from the traumas, the waste from the diets, the waste from anything. So if your cold is very important. What's the problem is when people are suppressing a cold, going to the doctors for a cold. They give the drugs to stop it coming out, so it stays in the body. The waste stays in the body and generates into a bigger illness, and then that's suppressed with drugs. Suppressed until it becomes too big and too much for the body, and even then it'll try and heal, and even then you can heal, but sometimes it will get too much and people end up dying. But it's sickness and disease. It doesn't have to be in this world. People say, oh no, if God's good and everything, why is there sickness and disease? But sickness and disease is of our own making. It's not we have free will to do what we want with our lives, and sickness and disease is a magical thing because it tells us what is wrong and what we need to work on. And therefore I've just been watching the ants on a piece of fruit, and it's people think just because the ants are on the fruit, it doesn't mean that they are the ones who. But I'll use the fruit analogy after. I'll use a snail first. It's going to sound weird at the moment, but say the ants and the flies are on the snail, but they are not the ones that killed the snail, and it's just they are there to clear the waste as the dead snail, and they are magical beings that the world wouldn't be able to function without these creatures clearing away the waste. And that's their job, that's their purpose. It's amazing. And it's the same with viruses and bacteria. They're there to clear out the waste. It's all about waste. They are there, but just because scientists see them at the scene of the crime, it doesn't make it the perpetrator. It's just the same with the ants on either fruit or snails or anything. Literally any waste product that you're chucking out, there's flies. But the flies haven't caused the waste. They haven't killed the snail. They're there to clear out it. And it's the same with viruses and bacteria. And these controllers are masters of reverse engineering, masters of mirroring. And they've changed the narrative to fit their agenda, which is the pharmaceutical industry, and to make loads of money. Really, it should make sense. And the past people, they knew this on this earth 200 years ago. But it's been manipulated. I mean, I've talked about the advanced civilizations we had, and I'm going to talk further. But for now, we need to get that knowledge back, that there is no such thing as health and disease. Bacteria and viruses don't cause illness. That's a fact. And it was proven in 1984 with the flu experiment, where 100 participants were injected with the flu, supposed flu anyway, in the injection, or what they could get from the patients that were suffering. They injected it directly into the bloodstream of 100 participants, and none of them came down with the swine flu, or whatever flu it was at that time. I'm not quite remember now. But none of them did. So that proved that it's not contagious, a virus. Because, first of all, a virus cannot live outside the body, even it says on the mainstream media, the mainstream internet. And you can't distinguish it between an exosome and a virus anyway. And our body is made up of millions of billions, trillions. And they're all working for us. We're made mostly of bacteria. That's what we are. They're living organisms that just all the time clearing out waste. And there are no bad bacteria. It's only balance. It's only balance. Balance is life, yin and yang. And they're there just to either help us and keep us alive. And that's it. They're just there to keep us alive. And that's what we need to figure out now, is we need to find our way of getting back to source and getting back to nature, and to figure out how it works, because we need to solve the trauma which was inflicted in the first place, and that then will be able to help the ill people, and the really ill people, is to first of all solve the trauma, and change their life completely. Not just take away a few things of their life, change all their life. They have to change everything: diet, fitness, thoughts, emotions, everything. It has to change, unless they're not going to get better. And it's the truth. You have to put the work in to get better and heal. It's the same with injury. You have to put the work in to heal an injury. It won't just go on its own. You have to become better than you were before. It's about adapting and evolving, and the human being wouldn't be here if we didn't know what to do. But it's still, no matter how many drugs, no matter how many, we've kicked it and kicked the human body, it's still coming back. And that proves how powerful the human body is. I'm going to make a part 2 of this soon, but that's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you.